Why do you think the FBI raided your home? In June, U.S. authorities took you off plane to Russia and seized your passport. Are the two events connected?
I believe that the two events are connected. One of the justifications that can be used to seize a passport is an ongoing federal investigation. And it's clear, and the FBI acknowledged that this investigation's been going on for some time. Concerns about myself as it relates to the Foreign Agent Registration Act, in particular, that I've been taking direction from the Russian government in the conduct of my work. So, this is part and parcel of a larger investigation. Now, when you take a look at things, I don't want to. I'm very unhappy about this because I know who I am, I know what I've done, and I know I've committed no crimes, and I know that I'm not operating in violation of the FAR Act. But I try to put myself in the shoes of those people who believe it might be the case, and their theory is that I'm somehow colluding with or operating at the direction of the Russian government. But they don't have direct evidence of this. All they have is the fact that I write things that appear to be pro-Russian. They're not, they're pro-American. I try to explain that to people, that I'm not pro-Russian, I'm pro-American. And when I write things, it's because I think that the government of the United States is engaged in activities that are harmful to America, and that it's important to point it out. But that's their interpretation.
How will such a high-profile raid have an impact on you?
As I told the FBI during this raid, regardless of their motives, this raid done in public has a chilling effect. See, normally when they don't have proof, the Department of Justice's FARA enforcement unit sends a letter of inquiry. It's a polite letter. They say, hey, you're doing things, and we think they constitute violations of the Foreign Agent Registration Act, and we think you need to register. And then you have an opportunity upon receiving that to say, oh, you're right, I will register, or I disagree, and this is why. And then you take it to civil litigation. They chose not to do that. And you have to ask yourself the question, why? Why would they choose this violent approach? Because it is violent. Even though I'm not dead, my house isn't destroyed, it's violent to have 40 people who are not invited into your house to tear it upside down looking for things that don't exist. Why did they choose this, and why did they do it in such a public way? I think it's designed to discredit me and to intimidate me and to silence me. But you can't discredit me because I've done nothing wrong. I'm a former Marine, so I don't get intimidated, and I'm not going to be silenced on issues that I feel strongly about, especially issues that I believe impact the United States of America as a whole.
You are a prominent critic of the U.S. foreign policy. Why do you think the U.S. authorities are less and less tolerant of criticism?
The FBI agents that came to my house, when they said people have concerns about things that you've been writing and things that you've been saying. And I said, really? And the FBI is coming to me about that. What happened to free speech in America? And they said, oh, no. We believe in free speech. We support free speech, just not yours, because we think your free speech violates the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And that's when they gave me the search warrant. I guess I should be somewhat proud of the fact that they've singled me out. It means that my voice is being heard, that my voice is having an impact. And it's being heard and having an impact at a time when U.S. policy is falling apart because of the very things that I've said about it. And it's dangerous to America. I continue to highlight the fact that the policy that the U.S. government has undertaken in regards to Russia is a policy that leads to a nuclear arms race and the possibility, indeed probability, of a nuclear war that would end life on the planet. That's what motivates me. I don't want us all to die in a nuclear conflict, especially when that conflict can be avoided because the predicate of the issues that are leading us are premised on lies, distortions, misunderstandings. The fact that somebody in the Department of Justice, somebody in the State Department, somebody in the White House sees fit to silence me only means that I'm doing a good job.
What would be the worst case scenario for you?
It would be a travesty of constitutional justice if the U.S. government were to succeed in making a case out of nothing. But they've done it before. I mean, Julian Assange and others. I mean, the worst case scenario is that they were able to convince a grand jury that they did have a case, and then they would indict me, and then I would have to go to trial. I would like to believe at trial I could convince a jury of my peers that the U.S. government was wrong, that their case has no merit, and subsequently emerge victorious from that. If I don't, then the U.S. government can decide on a sentence, and then there would be prison time, and this would be devastating for me, for my family, for my friends. So that's the worst possible case. I don't think the U.S. government believes that it can successfully prosecute me.
What's your plan for the near future?
I continue to do what I do. I have not been charged with any crime. So I live my life as I always live my life. Eventually, I'd like to get my passport back so that I can resume my travels, but I don't think that's going to happen until this issue is resolved. Would hope that this particular issue gets resolved very quickly. They have my computers, they have my phones, they know that their theories are bankrupt. We need the ball's in the government's court, the ball's in the FBI's court, the Department of Justice court. Let's see how long. If this is about harassing me, then they'll drag this thing out forever. If this is about justice, this should wrap up fairly certain.